Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Phillip Forest Lewitski about the film Wildhood, which is now on Hulu. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This film is, I think it's an understatement where I say this film is like packed with a lot of stuff. Do you notice how kind of packed this film is as soon as you kind of read the script for a film like this?
Yeah, it's a mix of emotions because you don't really know what to expect until you're there on the day. And so there were definitely a lot of moments that I articulated differently when I read it versus when we were actually shooting it. And it was just kind of a roller coaster of emotions and physical movements and really everything.
I feel like this is the type of film where there's so many takeaways, there's so many messages, there's so much importance in this film. I'm just curious for you specifically, not the viewer, like you as someone who worked on this film, what was the big kind of takeaway for you specifically?
Oh, it was, I guess it was a combination of things. I worked with people who I now consider family and just the influence that people have had on me and my personal life and the story as a whole. This is a very personal story to Brett and Adam, our director writer.
Yep.
And so to be able to tell that story on behalf of them felt like a lot of pressure at first, but I was quickly put at ease as soon as I started working with Brett. Just one of the most gentle, caring, loving souls I've ever come across. And so that really helped, but really just getting to know Link, and I guess every character kind of impacts you on a different level.
Absolutely.
And you hold that with you and you learn with them and then you live with them.
The Link-Travis relationship that we kind of see is incredible. Like, both of you did such an amazing job there. Was there kind of chemistry like instantly between the two of you, like when you met on set and everything? Like, what was that dynamic like?
Well, I've got 7 siblings, so I'm the second oldest so I'm very used to younger siblings, younger brothers getting on my nerves. There's 6 boys, 2 girls, and so I'm always surrounded by that. And so it was just this instant connection, honestly. I know that Avery doesn't have an older brother, and so he was really excited about that idea. And the second that we started doing rehearsals and started to actually put this thing into motion, it was very natural and very annoying, but in the best ways possible. And he was just this comedic relief in the movie and also in between takes, which was really nice because we were going to some places.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just a pure joy working with Avery.
This is a great film, but most importantly, I'm going to stress the word, this is an important film. And again, I'm going to say it again. How important is it for Phillip Forest Lewitski to be in an important film like Wildhood?
Well, this is a very close film to not only me, but also to particular members of my family. And so it was very touching for them. I was gracious enough to be able to have my entire family there for TIFF. And it was actually the first time I had ever seen the movie. We didn't have a private screening or anything. So it was a very powerful moment. And also just to be able to get up and to represent two-spirited people. We had incredible advisors around us, like John, Silly Boy, who was just teaching us exactly what we needed to do to represent this and to do it right. And so it's just it's an incredible thing, and to get the kind of feedback that we've been getting it's more than we could have ever asked for.
There's a lot of the film does an amazing job of representation, the LGBTQ representation, the Indigenous representation. Is this one of those things where, there's a lot of films that focus on LGBTQ, there's a lot of films that focus on Indigenous. This has both of them. Was that something, like, how important was that kind of combination? Because that's incredible. That's one of the best things about this film. You have 2 amazing kind of representations in this film.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really realize to what extent this outreach would have for that kind of combination,
Yep.
until we actually did it. And then I kind of realized as we were doing it how important and how impactful this was going to be, just because it's never been seen before.
Never.
And I've been to different countries and cities with this movie, and I've had it doesn't matter what community people are from. It's like I've had people fall into my arms with tears in their eyes saying, I've never seen myself on screen before. Thank you for that. And it's not, it doesn't matter which character you feel connected to. There's going to be something in this story. There's going to be some character in this story or some event in this story that people are just naturally feeling connected to. And that to me is just another praise to Brett's writing and just their vulnerability and willingness to share. And I think that's why we've seen what we've seen so far.
Is it safe to say, kind of adding to what you just said, Phillip, is it safe to say that that's your favorite thing though about storytelling, that stories that weren't necessarily told before are finally being able to get told?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Me and Michael Graz were talking about that, how this is something that you would have never seen a spotlight on, or even just given the funding to make something like this before. And so this is a very exciting time. It's very exciting to see these sort of things being funded and recognized and pushed forward to the forefront. And we've seen the impact that it's had on people. So it's sad to think about how many stories like this kind of were pushed to the side and never given a chance. So I think this is a very Brett is pushing things into motion, and it's going to make an impact.
Absolutely. You know, it recently dropped in the US on Hulu. It's an amazing time for Hulu right now. There's a lot of amazing content on it, a lot of different genres and everything. What's it like to be part of the Hulu family at a time where there's a lot kind of happening for Hulu right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's amazing that we've been, picked up and thrown onto Hulu, and we're very grateful to the Hulu family for welcoming us in. And yeah, it's we've already seen the movement forward with Hulu, so it's great. It's great.
It's so awesome and everything. There's a lot of very intense scenes in this. Can you even prepare yourself enough for some of these scenes in terms of kind of going in? I mean, I'm sure there's some things you could do, part of like your routines and everything, but like, I don't want to spoil anything for everyone, right? Because I want them to go in fresh. But there are some tough scenes in this to watch. So I'm just wondering, from your perspective going in, like, what was that like specifically preparation wise?
To be honest, I try not to think about it too much because it can freak you out a bit. But there was we spent 2 weeks in quarantine when we initially went up. And so we spent those 2 weeks actually rehearsing within the cast. And so we worked like 16-hour days sometimes because we were just enjoying it so much and getting so much done. And so by the time we actually went to camera with it, it was just so easy. It just, everything felt so easy. It didn't matter where the scene was going. It was just very fluid and flowing and it was very powerful. It was like this little bubble we were all in of creativity and this, common goal. And it just happened without much. And, but it was scary, super scary and super painful, but it was also just very healing. And yeah, I'll never forget it.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's so crazy to see how much is kind of in this film and how important it is. And I really, really enjoyed this film. But last question before we wrap up. I mean, I asked you what your big takeaway was, but now I want to know from the audience perspective, when they get to watch it, what are you hoping they get out of it when they get to watch Wildhood?
Well, from what I've seen, people are taking away different things depending on the life that they've lived. But I guess for me, the most important message, the reason that I do this at all, is just to I guess tell people, to try and reach people, to not judge one another, to love people like you want to be loved, and because you just really don't know, if your spirit was inside of their body, you wouldn't be going through that exact same journey as they were going through. And so just to I guess not judge in the simplest way possible.
Absolutely. No, that's very well said. Phil, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. It was really great chatting with you.
Thanks, PD.
So yeah, the film's available now. They can check that out on Hulu. Could people keep up to date with you on social media? There's an Instagram account.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Wildhood movie, I believe.
Yeah, and for you, it's just your name or.
Yeah, Phillip Lewitski. Yeah.
I mean, well, this has been popped. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was about to say for some people, they have to put like underscore or anything. I'm pretty sure there wasn't that. I
grabbed that.
I think you grabbed it.
I think I'm the only one. I think I'm the only one. I didn't even have to grab that. It was just there. It's always good.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. Previous episodes. You can catch Philip in Wildhood streaming now on Hulu. Until next time, this is Phillip Forest Lewitski and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.